What's up, you guys? It is Simone, aka Money Mo here, and we are back. You guys, I know we're a week off, but we got careers outside of this, but we're back. Flicks, let them know we back. Let them know. Give me a horn.
We
Two, we
back
ain't got
and we
no
talking
horn.
rookie report. It's rookie report and we back.
Yeah,
Don't
and
get
we
no
ain't got
better
no
than that.
horns. I ain't got my tag. Still, I'm still send that email to HR because I'm fed up. But let's get into this intro and these rules, okay? Because anytime I'm on this mic and I'm talking this women's hoops to y'all, we are in the clubhouse, okay? And I have a few rules. No Dodgers slander, no Lakers slander, no Rams slander, and anything with the hate in women's sports will not be tolerated. You will be blocked, reported, and deleted out of the clubhouse. Okay? And let's just get into some shout outs, okay? First and foremost, shout out to the queen, Asia Wilson, the quickest player to get to 5,000 career points. And she's sitting in elite company, guys. And you know who's the other two in the mix that she beat to get 5,000 points? Brianna Stewart and Diana Taurasi. Elite company. Thank you. And give a shout out to also Kayla McBride for reaching 5,000 career points. Okay. Also, it's been a minute and we done had a lot of injuries, right? So prayers up to Courtney Vandersloot. Hope she get on the road to a speedy recovery. And I also want to give my prayers up to Jonquil Jones in hopes for a speedy recovery as well. It just sucks to see when players get injured like that, especially so early in the season. All right.
What happened to John Cole Jones?
Don't quote me on it. I believe it was a leg injury.
Let's get down to the bottom of that. And then also, Angel Reese had 500 points and 500 rebounds. Fastest.
Shout out to Angel Reese. Me bounce. 500 me bounce. Okay. I'm gonna have to give me a me bounce show. I gotta support. I
And
have to support.
John Cole Jones is out 4 to 6 weeks for a right ankle sprain.
Oof.
She
Oh, that sucks.
re-aggravated her ankle.
Oh yeah, and then you know what else? We have to give a shout out to Caitlyn Clark because she's getting her signature shoe at the end of this year. I believe in the fall.
Hmm.
I
That's
believe
super.
in the fall. Don't quote me on it. I just seen something. I seen something on social media about that. I think it'll be in November. And I think that's perfect too because that's when college hoops, high school hoops. So that's gonna be dope to see all of the people in those shoes, and I hope we see a little cameo of them shoes and unrivaled by some of her fellow players and fellow teammates. So that'll be very exciting.
Yeah, it looks like they're gonna release the her signature logo and holiday during the holidays this year.
That'll be dope. That'll be dope. Like she been getting to that bag, and I feel like it's only right that everything's coming to her. It's coming to her, and she deserves it. Okay. Enough of the shout outs, enough of the love, because if it was up to me, I would be giving out flowers every second, every minute of this episode. But we got things to talk about. Let's talk about this rookie report. I feel like this is my favorite segment. I get to talk about like the rookies in the W, and I usually pick about 4 to 5 rookies before the draft. And these are rookies that like I've been following throughout their career in college and like just like the spots they're on certain teams. And I'm gonna just give y'all a report about them, okay? Um, I think the key to being a rookie and having a really good rookie season is being true to yourself, being able to transition your game from the college level to the pro level, and being that fit for your team. For some rookies, it may just be giving energy or coming in the game, hitting a three and giving quality minutes. For some rookies, it's actually taking a bigger role and helping their team win some games and putting people in those seats. Okay. So we're going to talk about 3 of them today. Okay. And the first one we're going to talk about is Paige Beuckers. All right. Let's talk about it. Okay. Paige. It's so much we could talk. It's just so much we could say about Paige Beuckers. Like, I really love her game. I've been following her game since high school, UConn, and now. And let me pull up these averages, okay? In 13 games played, she's averaging about 18 points, okay? Shooting 46% from the field goal. All right. Rebounds, let's see. 4.4 rebounds, 5.8 assists, 1.8 steals. Okay. And only averaging about 2 turnovers a game. Those are really good stats, okay? And the one thing I really like about Paige is how her game has transferred into the W. Like, we all know what Paige did in college. She's literally taken everything she did at UConn and bringing it to Dallas, okay? Um, the first couple games, it was a little rocky for her. She kind of had to get used to the speed and the flow and kind of to adjust to the speed, right? Because it's a different type of game. But I really like how it's just the game just flows to her, okay? The one thing that really stands out to me with her is her mid-range game. Flawless. I like how she gets to the cup and how she's shooting a three. Like, she's really diversifying her three levels of scoring, okay? And now when I watch games of her, like, she's in the flow of the offense. They're really looking for her just as much as they're looking for Enrique, and she's out there being vocal. Like, she's earned that trust from her teammates, and they have a lot of really good chemistry, in my opinion. Um, I believe it's just going to take some years for the Dallas Wings to develop, but I really like this spot for Paige because this organization could grow with her eventually becoming a marquee player, and then Dallas having a brand new head coach. And I think this is just a perfect opportunity for her to really grow, and Dallas to have something they could really watch and enjoy for seasons to come. I really like it, and I have to see her play when she comes to LA. What do you think, Flicks?
True Hooper. I mean, she took that #1 spot, and not for nothing, we gotta have a conversation about Arika Gumawale and how well she fits in this
Not
big.
today. We're not doing that. We're not doing that here.
Well, it's not. Is it working? Do we think this is working?
Define working.
Is this going to be a contending team, or do the Dallas
I don't
Wings need to move
expect.
on?
Uh, we got to remember Dallas had the #1 pick. Any team that has picks 1 through 6, they're in rebuilds. They're in rebuilds, so I don't expect them to make the playoffs. I just expect teams like that to be competitive and to figure it out. And then we have to go back. Six of the 12 teams have brand new head coaches. About 3 of the 13 teams have new head coach and GM. When we talk about teams like that, I'm not looking at playoffs. I'm looking at how are they going to build their foundation. And I believe for the Dallas Wings, I like their head coach. I like how he worked his way up, and he's going to learn and grow just as much as Paige has got to learn and grow. I really like that mix, and I think in a couple seasons they'll have something. Right now, I'm just expecting them to be competitive, and I just want to see what Paige can do in her first season. I'm not looking at postseason with them. We got to be realistic.
Yeah, they're 4-13. I just at some point I think they're gonna blow things up. Doesn't seem like this is working out,
But you
or it
got to
hasn't been.
understand, and then it's like you got Enrique Gumawala. She's one of the most lethal scorers in the W. Like, they play her so different. Like, there's one thing about being denied all the time, and there's one thing to be face guarded. When you're being face guarded and you do any type of L or V cut, you're only open for a split second. So, and a lot of times when someone's getting guarded like that, your offense is automatically disrupted because you have to go that much faster. You have to, it's more chaotic. but at the same time, you have to be patient. And I think that don't click with people. It's not clicking. You get what I'm saying? It's not clicking.
Oh, for her
But
teammate.
real coaches know. Real coaches, real ball players know. If you've never been face guarded before, that I feel bad for you, but I get it because I used to be face guarded at some point in time in my playing career. So I get it. It's just something that just has to take time. But like I said, I love where Paige is at. I love that they have a new young head coach. They got a new look. I hope they keep this group together because they're only going to get better. They're only going to get better. And Paige is going to be that marquee player along with Arike Ogunwale. All right. But there are two other rookies that I like and that we're going to talk about today. And they both play for the Washington Mystics. First, I want to start off with Sonia Critron. Okay. That's what I want to start off with when we talk about these dynamic duo of the Washington Mystics. Okay. Okay. So she's played 16 games and she's averaging about 15 points. Okay. Her field goal percentage is almost about 48%. Shooting 38% from the three. 86% from the free throw line, averaging almost 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and let's see them steals, about a steal a game, and only averaging 2 turnovers a game. Very efficient. Very efficient. And when we talk about games translating over, her game has translated over because I feel like a lot of people haven't been really paying attention to her at Notre Dame when she was there because they had other like NIL type of eyes on them, but she was in that mix. She was in that mix. The same things we see her do with at Notre Dame when she was scoring on one end and going on the other end guarding the best player on the other team. She's for sure doing that in the W. Okay, I really like her. She's a nice size guard and she's a true two-way player. Okay, well, you know what I mean by two-way player. She could go down and cook you on offense, and then she gonna sit down, get in that defensive stance, and maybe slap that floor and knock your favorite player up on defense. Okay, and I think the strength of hers is that three-point shooting. She's shooting about 39% from the three-point line. Okay, and that gives the defender a problem because she's super efficient attacking the lane, and she's also just as lethal from the three-point line. So there's really no way to really game plan her as far as like shade her right or really shade her left. You got to kind of play her honest. Okay, and that's a very scary sight. And the fact that she plays with so much confidence, it's kind of like she's been there. Like her game really translates. And kind of piggyback into this whole idea of these rookies being in a place where they could thrive. Right now, the Washington Mystics, the past couple seasons, they haven't been the best front office. They keep having different head coaches, but I really like the fact that they have a strong vet presence with the great vets like Mama Steph, Shakira Austin, Slim. They're surrounded by really good vets, okay? And the Mystics are 8-8. They're in a good position, okay? And I think Sonia fits right in. And they have a new head coach, a new GM. If we're talking about foundations, this is a really good foundation to start from as far as like your backcourt. I like it. And I wouldn't be surprised if she win Rookie of the Year. Because right now, if we really looking at it and we're just looking at numbers, her and Paige are like right there. But there is a third, and she so happens to be Sonia's teammate, and that's Kiki Ifaren, okay? And let's look at them stats, okay? Because if you was to look on the WNBA app, they're 1, 2, and 3, okay? So Kiki's averaging about 13 points a game. She's shooting 48% from the field goal line as well. She doesn't shoot threes, so there's nothing there. Her free throw percentage, she's shooting 76% from the free throw line. That's not bad. Let's look at the rebounds. She's averaging about 9 rebounds a game. Close to a steal. I want her to get a little more blocks, okay? And her turn, and she's only having about 2 turnovers too. She's pretty efficient, okay? And I like Kiki's game, especially watching her at Stanford and then going into a super leadership role at USC to now the game has translated. Because I believe when she was at Stanford, she was around some talent like Cam Brink. She had a good core around her, and she did really well. And also going to USC, being around a dynamic athlete like Juju Watkins, she played really well. And she was also a leadership presence. But I feel like at USC, people weren't really like ooh and on over her because it was just a lot going on there. But don't get it twisted. I'm not saying that to say that she wasn't good, because she's great. She's great. But looking at her, just looking at some games in the W, I think she's very versatile, and she's great on the mismatches. Okay, and here's what I mean by great on the mismatches. When she has the ball and it's a three or a little guard Gardner, she's gonna take them down on the post. If there's a true five, Gardner, or a slower forward, she does really well with space, squaring up to the basket and attacking them off the dribble to go all the way to the basket, or even shooting that mini pull up. Very versatile. I love how when she has her back to the basket and she turns off that certain shoulder and scores. That elbow shot is really money for her. And the thing that really catches my attention is the fact how great she is on the mismatches. But one thing about mismatches, you're going to be good on one side, and the other side, you might be on the other side of that mismatch. And I think for me, it's the defensive side. And I think once she kind of picks up that defensive transition, meaning like anticipating more, being a second quicker, or just even playing these teams a second or third time around, she's going to get it. And I really would love for her blocks to pick up. I want her to be a little more aggressive on the blocks, because I feel like, I'm not going to say she's foul prone, but she does have moments in spurts where she picks up a lot of fouls. But me personally, I would rather her kind of give a little more fouls of her trying to block the shot instead of bodying up. That's just me. Don't look at me crazy. That's just me. That's just my opinion. If you got a different opinion, start your own segment, start your own show. Because I'm not tolerating that over here. I said what I said. But the Washington Mystics drafted really well. Shout out to that general manager.
Yeah, I think there's one player we still haven't even mentioned yet because she's out with injury, and that's Aaliyah Edwards.
I know. When Aaliyah Edwards comes back, it's just something about that Mystics core. They have a lot of versatile players. You got to think about it. They have Kiki, about 6'2", Aaliyah Edwards, 6'4", and I think their games are very similar.
Mm-hmm.
Very similar. You got Shakira Austin. You got Big Mama Steph. That's a lot of size right there. That's a lot of size, but I like that though, because it's a different look, and I like how versatile it is. Because watching those games, I like it. I just like how it fits. And I like the coach. I like how he's putting them in these different rotations. I like how he's playing the vets. I like how he's putting his trust in these rookies as well. So that's what I have so far for the rookie report. I like what I see from these three.
Yeah, and so Aaliyah Edwards, she'll be reevaluating in 2 weeks. So maybe around 4th of July, she could possibly be back for his team. And we'll see what the Mystics can do. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like it's just kind of a tricky spot, like getting injured a couple weeks before the All-Star break. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't even be in a rush to get her back. I want her to just have take her time getting back. I feel like they had a really good run in the Commissioner's Cup, even though like they didn't get the record they wanted. But I feel like they had a really good run. They had a couple of good wins in there. And since we're talking about the Commissioner Cup, let's talk about it. Because I feel like I did really good. I did really good with the rookie report. I stayed under my time. My executive producer is really proud of me, and I'm proud of me too. Let me get a pat on my shoulder. Stay within the time frame. And it's good because I get to talk to y'all about a Commissioner's Cup championship preview. We're going to have the Minnesota Lynx versus the Indiana Fever Tuesday, July 1st. Okay. I think this is going to be a really fun, really exciting matchup. I really hope Caitlin Clark is back to play in this game. But you know what? Let's talk about it. As much as I want her to get back, anything like with the groin, the quad, the hamstrings, that's like a that's like a for injuries, that's kind of like an itch you can't scratch. And that's one of those things where you kind of just have to take it day by day. And then if I'm the Indiana Fever, if I'm the GM, I'm going to take it easy. I'm not going to be in a rush for her to get back. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of like they're not in a position to because they got really good players. Like I feel like people be forgetting that. They be forgetting they got Kelsey Mitchell, Aaliyah Boston, Natasha Howard. They're good. Lexi Hole stepping up. They're good. But we would love to see Caitlin Clark back. I know that. But we're not going to rush that petty injury. What happened?
I'd love to see Dewana Bonner back too.
You messy.
Would have helped at a time like this.
You messy. Flicks, you messy. Because why'd you say that?
She's a great player, man. Go.
She got waived. You messy. Were you in the chat?
But she like asked to get like waived.
You messy. Why would you say that?
I like the Fever a lot.
I do too, but you're being messy because you said Dewana Bonner like you're messy. They waived her.
How do you feel about her leaving? It's a lot of speculation that she left because of too much popularity going on. It's kind of weird reasoning.
You know what? I'm a fan of minding the business that pay me. But because you're not the first person to ask me this, you're like the fifth person. I just wait to come on here to get my think piece. Okay. From the outside looking in, because I don't need y'all taking clips and saying this the news. This is just from the outside looking in. And me being a basketball player at some point in time. And being in the locker room that's had to do a lot of culture shifting and bringing in people that know how to win a championship. It's possible that could have been some friction, or it could have been possible that like on her little free agency tour of her talking to teams, something was probably said to her. And, you know, as the game and the flow was happening, the math wasn't mathing. That's what I think. That's what I think. And then it's kind of like now that it's the thing now to watch women's sports, even though it's always been a thing for me, but I'm talking about for like new people, right? New people. I'm not talking about of people that's been watching since we were able to understand the game. I just feel like it's a newer crowd, it's a newer energy. And a lot of that energy comes with monitoring spirits, and a lot of media is eating up the monitoring spirits. And it just be, I feel like a lot of that havoc be in locker rooms because of little petty dramas. It seemed like, you know.
Yeah, I definitely love drama stuff. So did you hear about the shirt, the Tres Leche shirt?
Who did that?
They were supposed. Sophie Cunningham wore a shirt.
Who did that?
The 3 white women on the team, and it says Tres Leches on the front. We'll show it for you guys.
Wait, you talking about Caitlin Clark, Lexi Hole, and Sophie?
Yes,
I know that's right.
Reportedly, this was supposed to be the last straw that the one. I don't know. Reportedly, that's the last straw.
No, okay. I'm about tired of Twitter. I'm about tired of WNBA Twitter because they was the same ones talking about that Rakia stuff and all she was trying to do was just recover from her concussion. This is for the guys that's watching in the podcast chat. Don't send me no news on Twitter. Y'all blew it with the Rakia stuff. Don't send me nothing on Twitter. If it ain't come from Shams, I don't give a damn.
Is there a Shams at WNBA though?
No, there needs to be. This is off the record combo. I was just talking to some of my people about that. Like, you know how the NFL got Adam Schefter,
right?
NBA got Shams. Mm-hmm. The W needs that because I'm about tired of these other reporters. Because I tell people when they send me NBA news, that's my line. If it ain't from Shams, I don't give a damn.
Yeah, and also it's funny because Adam Schefter is like on the NFL's payroll. Like they pay him to give out the news,
Same as Shams.
and they give them the news first. But in the WNBA, I don't think there is a person like that.
They need one, and I prefer for it to be a female.
Yeah, I mean,
Preferably a female of color.
Taylor Rooks.
No, she's a reporter. She's on the front. We need an actual like someone that's gonna
Mm-hmm.
write notes and actually type some stuff up.
Nitty gritty.
Yeah, exactly. But Taylor Brooks, she just needs to be on the front. She's getting her bag being on the front and hosting. We need other, we need more.
Oh yeah, somebody else get some money then.
Yeah, it's community. You see what I'm saying? It's community. We need more. But yeah, they messy. But
Commissioner's Cup. We're talking about the Fever, not a Fever kind of little injury ridden right now.
I don't think they're injury ridden. Like I said, with Caitlyn Clark, she just needs time. Like a groin injury is like that itch you can't scratch. Like anytime you strain or have like a groin injury, quad or ham, it's just time. It's just time, and like I wouldn't rush it. Mm-hmm. Like I said, like I just gave a list. So they have players. Indiana Fever just played today. Mind you, it's Friday night. Kelsey Mitchell dropped 32. Aaliyah Boston had a really great game, had 21 points. They're good. Lexi Hall will be giving quality minutes. They're good. Natasha Howard, good minutes. They're good. So, like I said, I feel like Caitlyn Clark should take time to get back. She shouldn't rush because I feel like if she aggravates it again, it's not going to be good. The Fever are looking towards the future of making the playoffs, and they're going to play chess about it, okay? But I hope Caitlyn Clark is back because the Fever got some competition on the other side with the Minnesota Lynx. They got competition.
I was going to bring up the fact that the Lynx have played in like 3 different championship games in the past year between Commissioner Cups and like real championship games. Like
they look really good.
Between that and Unrivaled, where Nafisa College just went off as the MVP of that league. I think she played championship in that too. She's played a lot of big time games in the past 12 months.
But hear me out though. I feel like she's playing with a chip on her shoulder. Because for a minute, it was Asia Wilson, Breanna Stewart. It was the teeter-tatter of those two. And she's like, hold up, I'm here too. So I think that she like, okay, I done had enough. Like, you guys have to put me in the mix with these two. Like, because I'm an elite company as well. But I feel like I've said before, the Minnesota Lynx have not missed a beat. They have not missed a beat. Nafisa Collier is doing queen feet things. And you know who else has picked it up? Kayla McBride. She missed the first couple of games with the injury, but she's doing decent. They got Courtney Williams. They got Teaspoon. Who else? Bridget Carlton. They have Jefferson if she stays healthy. Mm-hmm. I could see the Minnesota Lynx winning the Commissioner's Cup. And then if you're like, Simone, why you say that? Because they play defense. Just like how they're efficient on offense, they're just as efficient on defense. I feel like right now the Fever is just efficient on offense. They have not mastered both sides, the two-way game yet, in my opinion, compared to Minnesota.
Right.
But y'all need to tune in Tuesday for that one. That's going to be a really good game. I don't know if it's going to be on Amazon Prime or not. Keeping my fingers crossed that it's on ESPN so I can watch it. Because that's going to be a really good game. And it's going to be at Minnesota.
One of them. Definitely one of them.
Oh, yeah. But I feel like it was a really good Commissioner's Cup run this season. I just don't like how fast it is and like how it's not as much coverage as I would like for it to be. That's just my opinion.
Well, I'll tell you this. The game would be much bigger if Caitlyn Clark was playing in it. I'll say that too.
Oh, no, 1,000%.
Like, add magnitude of this game.
1,000%. But the thing is, like I said, like I want Caitlyn Clark to play. I want her to be out there. But if I'm being strategic and knowing the type of groin injury it is, like if you're an athlete and if you ever had, like I said, a groin injury, hamstring, that's a petty one. But let's keep our fingers crossed to hope that she's back. Tuesday's going to be a really exciting game. Y'all check that out. I feel like I dropped the ball. I have not given y'all any games that's going to be on national television during the week. But I'm just going to talk about one game because that's the one. It's only one game I really care about. And I'm so sad I'm going to miss it because of work. On Sunday, June 29th, Candace Parker is getting her jersey hung up in the rafters at Crypto Arena, and the Sparks will be playing the Chicago Sky. 1 o'clock. Be there or be square. Get them tickets and go.
Get your me bound shirts. Get the me bound shirts. You feel me?
Get the me bound shirts. Get some Sparks gear. All that. Like, it's gonna be a really good environment. Make sure y'all go to that game if you're in the LA area. Okay, and thank y'all for tapping in with us. We've been running. I've been yapping it for 30 minutes. I appreciate y'all for staying this long with me and tapping in. I gave y'all some good rookie report stuff. I may give y'all another episode of rookie reports, and then after the All-Star break, you'll have an MVP ladder. Okay, but until then, like and subscribe all that good stuff to the channel. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and stay tuned for Instagram Live because I might hop on live after the Commissioner's Cup game. Alrighty, see y'all.